Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another interesting episode for you guys that I definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And we would really appreciate it if you helped us hit that target. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So yesterday, I was watching a segment on Undisputed. I watch Undisputed every day, right? I watch it every day, although sometimes they usually talk about the same 4 or 5 things. But anyway, I watched Undisputed yesterday. I was watching a segment. And this particular segment was centered on the Bucks versus Saints game, right? Football game. And it was centered on Tom Brady yelling at one of the Saints, I think it was the Saints head coach and some members on the Saints sideline. So essentially, that's the backdrop of this particular segment. That's really what we're going to be discussing or unpacking, rather. So that's what happened. Now, we all know that Skip Bayless is one of the biggest critics out there of LeBron James. Some people have said that, listen, Skip Bayless has made a career out of criticizing LeBron James. Some people have said if he didn't criticize LeBron the way that he did, there's no way he would still be on TV for this long. Whatever it is, a decent amount of people seem to feel that way. Nevertheless, he's one of the biggest critics of LeBron James, and he literally gets on LeBron for every single thing that he does. Literally, right? I think some of his I think he's hypercritical of LeBron because sometimes, I don't know if on the show they're kind of searching for content and searching for things to talk about, but sometimes some of the things that they decide to discuss, I just think it's like, okay, what are we even talking about? LeBron James came out with a glass of wine. LeBron James sat at the bench and he had his hat turned to the side. LeBron James was there looking at staring at the clouds, and I wonder, was he thinking that he was better than Jordan? Like, it was like, okay, it's like at a certain point, I think it goes too far. Like, we're over analyzing what this guy does, and I'm talking about from the standpoint of looking at Skip Bayless, at LeBron James. So I think sometimes that goes on a little bit too much, and I think he tries to single him out for every single thing that he does, and sometimes it gets a little bit excessive. So yesterday, I was watching this segment on the show, and Shannon Sharpe was the one that started off the segment as far as answering the question that the moderator put forward. And as he was answering the question, he called out Skip Bayless in the process. But in him calling him out, I thought that he made some very, very valid points, right? The points that he made in his monologue, I thought were very valid. So before we go too far, what we want to do is we want to play Shannon Sharpe's comments when he was answering the question. And really, I want you guys to focus on what he said about Skip Bayless and Tom Brady and LeBron. So before we go too far, take a listen to that there.
What does this say about Tom Brady?
This is who he is. I just want to know what the NFL is going to do by him yelling at the referee, saying it's about what time. And it seemed like, we tried to find the footage, but it sure looked like he bumped the official. And for him to go to the opposing team's sideline and yell at the head coach, tell him to go, himself, is unacceptable. But this
who is the defensive coordinator?
He's the defensive coordinator. Who's acting head coach, Skip. This is what I've learned, is that when we like a guy, we're willing to overlook certain behaviors. If you become a champion, well, he got 7 Super Bowls, so he can do whatever he wants. Athletes and sports are a microcosm of society. If something happened between 2016 and 2017, people like the guy and they overlook his behavior. They like this guy. 7 championships, but I'm a firm believer I'll never subscribe to. Because you've garnered a certain level of success, be it fame, fortune, whatever the case may be, you have the right, or you can say and do whatever you want to someone. I don't believe that. I don't believe because you got $7 billion, you should be a jerk to people. I believe everybody deserves a certain level of respect regardless of what someone else has accomplished. Because Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls, it doesn't give him a right to act the way that he does. It's unacceptable. You get upset about LeBron. Why does LeBron got to curse? Why he got to curse?
Yeah, but one's off the court.
No, it doesn't matter.
I mean, LeBron doesn't curse on the court that I remember.
Yeah, he cursed.
Not like screaming.
So you didn't hear what he said last night?
I heard exactly what he said.
I'm just saying, Skip. So look, Tom didn't handle playing as poorly as he did well, but he never does. Tom reminds me of a certain fella I've been working with for the past 5 years. That when he gets upset or his team loses, he cuts me off. He won't let me finish my point.
Really?
But you know what?
I don't know that guy.
I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy.
Do you have a silent partner on the show that I don't know?
The part that I got is not silent. The part that I got is very, very vocal. That's why you like him. You like Jordan. You like Tom Brady because you excuse their behavior because they win. You say if you win, you should be able to treat people how you choose. That's Tom Brady. Did you see him getting on the receivers last night? Come on, guy, get the ball. Come on. Thank you.
Now, in that segment, I think Shannon Sharpe made a lot of fair and valid points. Very fair. Very, very fair. He asked the question, why do you give Tom Brady a pass for something you would never let LeBron James get away with? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a fair question to ask. Why would you criticize LeBron for every single thing that he does, but then when Tom Brady does something similar, you say nothing about him? That's a good question, because to me, I think he's talking to like, bro, this is favoritism that we're seeing here, right? If these things truly bother you, why is it that they only bother you when one particular person does it, but when another person does it, you completely overlook it? That's favoritism. And that's one of the reasons why we've been careful on our channel. We've been very, very careful on our channel to be as balanced as we can. We have criticized every single person if we believe that it's fair. That includes Kawhi Leonard. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan, but I'm not one of these people that feel, oh, Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time, so therefore he's better than Michael. No. That's nonsense, right? So we try to be as balanced as possible, and a lot of our viewers respect that and they understand that about us. There's nobody out there that watches our content and says, oh, this guy, he's really preferential to a particular person. No, there's no one out there. And that's the reason why you got to be careful when you're supporting people, because there's nothing wrong with supporting people. But when those people mess up, you have to be the first person to call them out. Otherwise, people are not going to take you seriously when you start criticizing other people, especially when the things that you're criticizing those other people for are things that your favorite player or public figure, whatever it is, has done, and you've never said anything about it. People are going to look at you like a hypocrite, and that is exactly what Shannon Sharpe. Now, he stopped very short of calling him a hypocrite, because I don't think he would call his co-host that on TV, because that's very disrespectful, and I think it would kind of it would poke holes in the credibility of the show that your co-host Skip Bayless, who I believe is a major component of that show, to call him a hypocrite, I don't think that helps what they're trying to accomplish on the show together. But to me, I think he made some valid points, and I think people that are LeBron James supporters probably saw that and were like, bro, what's up with that, Skip? What is up with that? Now, obviously, Shannon Sharpe didn't press him to the point where he's like, okay, answer it. Now, Skip Bayless said, well, I think it was like on the quartered off. To me, I didn't understand what he was talking about. And to me, I thought that the point that Shannon Sharpe brought up was valid and it was fair. It was valid and it was fair, and he had a very good point that he made. And Skip Bayless, I think you got to take that one on the chin, man, because Shannon Sharpe was absolutely right, at least in this particular instance. So what I want to know from you guys is this. Number one, what do you think about what Shannon Sharpe said? Do you think it was being fair? And number two, do you think that Skip should try a little bit harder to be a little bit more balanced in his critique of LeBron? Like, if you're gonna criticize LeBron about something, make sure you're holding everybody else to that standard. So that's pretty much the question to you guys. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoy the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.